In my past life, my younger sister was adopted by a wealthy family, while I was taken in as a child bride. Later, my sister leaped from a high rise, while I blossomed from the darkness. My sister said with a smile, "Elder sister, if it were you, you surely wouldn't have lived such a wretched life, right? Reborn into this life." My sister and I swapped destinies. I became the dazzling sun shining in the daylight. My sister became the malevolent ghost crawling in the night. Neither of us ever looked back. Advancing forward in turn, I was reborn back to the day when my sister was adopted at age 5. This time, the clever and lively younger sister acted utterly uncouth, shouting about becoming rich, which made Mrs. Shin frown and instead choose the quiet, steady me. My sister and I exchanged a glance. I saw the sly smile in her eyes and knew she had been reborn too. My sister and I are fraternal twins. In our past life, she was chosen by the Shun family, a wealthy family in Glenwood City. As she left, she gazed at me with wide eyes and said, "Elder sister, I will come back for you." But I never saw my younger sister again after that, and I was adopted by an ordinary family. Their son was intellectually disabled, and they intended to raise me to eventually marry him. I grew up enduring beatings and verbal abuse, studying desperately to prove I could achieve great success and bring them more benefits. Through bullying and humiliation, I got into a top university and later secured a civil service position. Meanwhile, my younger sister, who had entered a wealthy family, fell into disrepute and leaped from a high building. Before her death, she sent me a message. "It's so unfair. If it had been you, elder sister, adopted by the Shun family, you surely wouldn't have ended up like this." 2 minutes later, 5 million yuan appeared in my bank account. It was the inheritance my younger sister transferred to me. Sadly, before I could enjoy the legacy she left me, the intellectually disabled son of my adoptive parents rushed out and stabbed me to death just days later. When I regained consciousness, I found myself back at the age of 5. I went to the Shun family, changed my name to Arya Shun, gained my own room, parents, and an older brother named Carter Shun. On my first day dining with the Shun family, I accidentally broke a bowl and had already braced myself for a beating. Instead of the expected scolding or punishment, I received concern. They asked if I had cut my hand. For the first time, I learned that breaking a bowl didn't mean you'd be hit. The new home had everything. Dad was rarely around. Mom paid me little mind. Servants handled the chores. And a nanny took me to play with Carter Shun. If not for my younger sister's death, reminding me I might have lost myself in this luxurious happiness. Carter Shun had poor health. A fortune teller advised his parents to adopt a girl from an orphanage, to give him a younger sister, ensuring his future health and smooth sailing. That was the reason the Shun family took in an orphan. Carter was quiet, with a somewhat gloomy demeanor, and I wasn't outgoing either. We weren't close. Strictly speaking, I felt like an outsider staying with the Shuns. Yet, I enjoyed the finest of everything and was deeply grateful. By middle school, Carter's health had improved greatly, and his temperament had shifted a bit. Though we attended the same school, we acted like strangers. No one knew of our connection. I lacked for nothing, yet I had no money. I ate and slept at home, and hadn't found a chance to return to my hometown to see my younger sister. Only after entering high school did I realize that the malice I encountered in this life was different from what I faced in my previous life back in that small town. Middle school and high school were worlds apart in this regard. The malice I faced now was more arrogant, impenetrable, like a raging undercurrent of madness. The one thing they shared, both could be deadly, but at last, I had the chance to go find my sister. Don't think just because your grades are good that Carter Shun would ever fancy you. How could a bookworm like you ever win his affection? Who are you trying to fool with that holier? Then, thou act. Everyone knows you've been sneaking around with Carter Shun behind the scenes. You slut. A group of girls cornered me in the restroom, yanking my hair as they warned me to stay away from Carter Shun for good. I pull my hair back, replying calmly, "Carter Shun is my brother. We live under the same roof." They froze. Even though we shared the same surname, Carter and I hardly seemed like siblings. I continued, I've always had good grades since I was little, and my parents adore me. I didn't want to be gossiped about. I just wanted to focus on studying. So at school, I pretended not to know my brother. My brother dislikes bullies, and our parents hate it even more. If you don't believe me, you can investigate it yourself. I walked out of the girls' restroom and scathed. But during lunch break that same day, I was summoned by one of Carter Shin's lackeys. Carter Shin asked me impatiently, "Why did you tell others about our relationship?" "Because your existence has made me a target for bullying. Your admirers think I have feelings for you." A playful glint shone in Carter Shin's eyes, his expression tinged with mockery, as if to say, "As if you don't like me?" I met Carter Shin's gaze directly and said calmly, "I also don't want the person I like to misunderstand." Carter Shin's expression shifted slightly. Then he let out a light laugh. "Someone you like? Who?" With a serious and resolute tone, I replied, "Jasper Yun." Carter Shin's face grew even darker. And just then, a soft chuckle sounded from behind. "What is Jasper like about me?" "I'm utterly flattered." Jasper Yun, Carter Shin's close friend, was also my younger sister's most intimate person in our past life. When I faced exclusion and isolation at school, Jasper appeared by my side like warm spring sunshine or a summer evening breeze. And I understood why my sister ultimately fell into such despair that she jumped from a building. My sister was lively, straightforward, and quick to open her heart to others. In other words, easier to deceive. When she died, she was known as Jasper's kept mistress. The day before her suicide was Jasper's wedding day. They said she was never content, that after entering the Shin family, her ambitions grew too large. She worked hard to please Carter's parents, then had the audacity to seduce young Master Shin, who threw her out of his room, earning the family's utter disgust. Yet she still clung to her dream of marrying into a wealthy family, turning instead to climb into the bed of Carter's childhood friend, Jasper Yun. After 3 years with Jasper Yun, I thought I'd finally become his official partner. But alas, my wealthy family dream shattered once more. Unable to bear the shock, she jumped off a building. Those who play with sincere hearts must be prepared to have their own played with one day. Carter Shin's irritated voice snapped me back to reality. "How old are you? What do you know about love? Focus on your studies. If I catch you dating early, I'll break your legs." "Don't scare our little Wandy like that." I stole a glance at Jasper Yun, my face flushing with embarrassment. Meanwhile, Carter Shin stormed off with a scowl. After I made my relationship with Carter Shin public, and he didn't deny it, the malice and exclusion surrounding me seemed to vanish. Once in high school, with an allowance and living on campus, I finally had some freedom. I took a day off to go find my younger sister. I found her in an alley near the county high school, holding an iron rod, blood on her face, her foot planted on a boy's back, looking utterly nonchalant. Beside her, 2 boys, crouched with their heads in their hands. Quite the impressive sight. Aurora Young, hearing my voice, younger sister froze for a moment, then turned her head and glared at me, snarling viciously. "Who asked you to butt in? Get lost." I stood there without speaking. Younger sister kicked the man beneath her, telling them to scram, then sat on the ground, pulled out a cigarette, and clamped it between her teeth, sneering sarcastically. "Well, if it isn't my dear elder sister who married into a rich family, finally remembered your poor little sister, here to give me money, hand it over then." Watching those 3 leave, I couldn't help but clench my fists. Those were the very same people who had bullied me in high school. Back in middle school, if you developed a fuller chest, they called you a cow. If you were a bit chubby, they labeled you a tank. That humiliating nickname, cow, was given to me by these very individuals, and it followed me all through high school. Seeing I hadn't responded, younger sister shot me an impatient glare. "What, don't you understand human language? If you've got no money, get lost." I walked over, took the cigarette from her mouth, and tossed it away, then pulled out the living expenses I'd saved from my pocket. I kept a little for myself and gave the rest to my younger sister. My sister snatched the money quickly. "At least you've got some conscience. Come see me often from now on, but don't show up without money." but I rushed forward and hugged her tightly, asking in a low voice, "Did you get into high school? Didn't you want to be a star? Go take the art school entrance exam. Finish high school properly. The academic requirements aren't high. Whatever you want to study, I have money. I'll give it to you." I felt my sister's body stiffen. Then she whispered back, "I'm in school. The fool died, so the family has to rely on me now." I threw a fit until they let me attend. Study what? What haven't I learned? With my looks, I'm destined to be a shining star. The fool died? I stared at my sister in disbelief. She tossed her hair lightly. Died in an accident. All right, you gave me the money. Now get out of here. Don't bother me. My sister suddenly pushed me away, her face full of impatience. I still wanted to ask about her past life, but she'd already walked off carrying the iron rod. Suddenly, a cold, detached voice came from behind me. It was Carter Shun. "You went through all this trouble just to meet this thing?" I turned around, my whole body turning ice. Cold, Carter Shun had actually followed me. I flushed with embarrassment, lowering my head. "She's my younger sister. Your sister only sees you as a free ATM, Arya Shun. Are you really that useless? You even gave her your living expenses?" Carter Shun said with a haughty expression. "It's only Tuesday. Don't expect me to bail you out." "Me? I'm on a diet." Carter Shun looked at me, seemingly amused and annoyed. I turned and walked outside to wait for the shuttle back to school. Carter Shun stood right beside me. I couldn't help but ask, "Brother, are you worried about me?" Carter Shun snorted coldly. "I'm just here to make sure you're not doing anything behind my back to disgrace the Shun family. You eat our food and live under our roof. If you dare embarrass us, I won't go easy on you." I looked up at him with a sincere smile. "Brother, it's okay to admit you're worried about me. An older brother worrying about his younger sister. That's nothing to be ashamed of." Carter Shun's ears suddenly flushed red, his lips pressed together in silence. Yet my heart remained utterly unmoved. My younger sister was right. If we swapped places, both of us would live extraordinarily vibrant lives. She could retaliate instantly against any humiliation, swinging an iron rod without holding back, and render our adoptive parents powerless to control her. As for me, I could become someone the Shun family would regard with newfound respect, winning everyone's affection. In the end, we would reunite at the very pinnacle. After Thursday's evening self-study session, Carter Shun and Jasper Yin came to find me, insisting on getting late night snacks, which left me no chance to slip away alone. Unbeknownst to them, it was actually my and my sister's birthday. By the time I returned to the dorm, the school gates were already locked. I struggled to climb over the wall, only to have the misfortune of running into Jasper Yun. Jasper Yun sat beside me on the school wall, watching me with keen interest. "So late, and climbing walls. Where are you off to?" I stammered, unable to form a reply. Jasper leaned closer, his tone dripping with suggestiveness. "Did you know I'd be here, coming for a secret rendezvous with me? Too bad your brother is about to show up. How about I take you away first? Let's go have some fun." My face flushed red as I whispered, "I wanted to buy that thing." The moment I said that thing, Jasper Yun understood. He coughed awkwardly before adding, "Aren't you uncomfortable now? Let me buy it for you." I shook my head. "No need. I'll get it myself." As I moved to jump down, Jasper leaped off first and spread his arms. "Come on, I'll catch you." I jumped, landing securely in his embrace, and he immediately pulled me along. "Hurry, before your brother finds out. He's been jealous lately and always picking on me." Pulled along by Jasper, I brushed past a girl standing at the school gate. She held a bouquet of white camellias. Neither of us glanced at the other. After buying what I needed, I stopped by a bakery for 2 small cakes, paid before Jasper could, then entered a nearby bookstore. Jasper shook his head. "What kind of fun outing includes bookstore browsing? Sia Wandi, you really have no sense of romance." I took out a small cake, scooped a spoonful and brought it to Jasper Yun's lips. He paused for a moment, then broke into a smile and opened his mouth to eat the cake I fed him. So sweet. I placed another small cake on the bookshelf. then grabbed Jasper Yun's hand and ran back. When we reached the school gate, I spotted a bouquet of white camellias on the ground. I crouched down and picked them up. At the same moment, a girl took a small cake from one of the shelves in the bookstore. Throughout my 3 years of high school, I studied relentlessly, utilizing every resource available. After all, being in an international high school meant I was surrounded by exceptional talents, future connections I couldn't afford to overlook. I had to excel to earn others' respect. After the college entrance exams ended, Jasper Yun confessed his feelings to me amidst the bustling crowd. When I turned around, I met Carter Shun's inscrutable gaze. He was watching me too. I'd seen that look in his eyes countless times over the past 2 years. With a radiant smile, I walked toward Jasper Yun and said, "Hello, boyfriend." That night, Carter Shun pinned me against the wall of my room, his eyes red as he demanded, "What's so great about Jasper Yun? Do you like him that much?" "I don't believe it. You can't possibly be unaware of my feelings. Have you forgotten who spent days and nights highlighting key points and helping you with exam predictions? In my past life, did younger sister barge into his room like this and confess her feelings too? What did he say then? Are you really this shameless? Is calling me brother not enough? Do you actually want to become the lady of the Shin family? Remember your place. You're nothing but a dog raised by the Shin family." I tilted my head, looking at Carter Shun with confusion yet resolve. "But you're my brother. Mom and Dad raised me, worked hard to nurture me. How could I repay their kindness with betrayal?" A restrained light flickered in Carter Shun's eyes as he whispered softly, "I'll find a way with Mom and Dad. They like you very much too. I'm sorry, brother. You're a very important part of my family, but the one I've always liked is Jasper Yun. In this life, I became the province's top science scholar in the national college entrance exams. Carter Shun also scored exceptionally well, but unfortunately, the spotlight seemed to be entirely on me. The Shun family held a university acceptance banquet for us, where everyone was intensely curious about me. I behaved obediently, sensible, yet poised and graceful, earning the Shun family plenty of face. Many approached with intentions of marriage alliances, but Mr. and Mrs. Shun skillfully declined them all. The Yun family immediately asserted their claim, announcing that Jasper Yun and I were already together. Others congratulated Mr. and Mrs. Shun with smiles, remarking that the Yun and Shun families had always been close. And now, with this marriage, it was like adding flowers to brocade. Others would probably only get to pick up the scraps. I smiled and looked toward Jasper Yun, meeting his tender, watery gaze, and recalled something my younger sister once said. She said, "Elder sister, I truly loved him once." When Carter Shun, such a favored son of heaven, intentionally flirted with her, boldly confessed, then humiliated her, leaving her heartbroken and sad, Jasper Yun was like a beam of light shining into her heart. He was always so gentle and attentive, with mesmerizing peach blossom eyes that could gaze at a dog with deep affection, and possessed endless patience. Yet, after 3 years together, he smiled and said he was tired of it, handing my sister a card and telling her to leave. After Jasper Yin got married, the Shin family felt they had raised my sister for so long and gained nothing from it, a total loss. So they sent her to entertain a difficult client, a 60-year-old man with sadistic tendencies. My sister told me this with a smile, saying that after more than 20 years of living, there wasn't a single person around her who truly cared for her, and no one ever noticed that since middle school, she had repeatedly hurt herself over and over, holding on until she was 24. Over the years, during holidays, we would meet at a certain bookstore. My sister would wear a baseball cap and a mask, and we'd sit back, slowly sharing the stories from the years we had missed in each other's lives. Because other people's parents said that holidays are for family reunions, so in this lifetime, we made sure to meet every festive occasion. I went to Capital City, attending Arden University, the same school as Carter Shun. Jasper Yin also went to Capital City, though not to the same university as us. Jasper Yin and I were like any other campus couple, holding hands, embracing, kissing. He always planned every date to make me happy, even creating little surprises. My roommates called him the model boyfriend, and our relationship was steady. My younger sister was also in Capital City, barely making it into film school. With her striking looks, fearless attitude, and passion for acting, she quickly became well known at the academy. In the first semester of sophomore year, on my birthday, Carter Shun and Jasper Yun were celebrating with me when my younger sister stumbled into the wrong room, drunk and disoriented. Seeing Jasper, she rushed over and clung to him, sobbing. Carter Shun watched with amusement, while Jasper, flustered, tried to explain to me and shoo the drunken mess away. But my sister cried with such genuine heartbreak, accusing Jasper of being a faithless scoundrel, that even he seemed momentarily bewildered. Carter Shun smirked and said, "Jasper, have you been sowing wild oats behind Wandy's back?" There were others in the private room, all now looking at Jasper Yun, with someone awkwardly laughing it off, saying it must be a case of mistaken identity. Jasper snapped back to attention, nervously looking at me. "Absolutely not. I swear, I really don't know her." I walked over, stared at my younger sister for a moment, then suddenly said, "She's my younger sister, the one I told you about." So, the birthday celebration gained one more person. Shortly after, someone came to fetch my younger sister and took her away. Turns out she was celebrating her birthday next door. On that day, my younger sister and I finally openly added each other as friends, while Jasper, despite Carter Shun, tried to play matchmaker between Carter and my sister. My younger sister remained as defiant and unruly as ever, full of personality, bold and passionate. I gave her a card with a substantial sum, rewards from school and the city, for her exam results, and she took it without hesitation. As always, by her sophomore year, my younger sister had already landed acting roles. By junior year, she paid me back the money I gave her, principal plus interest. After her breakout role as the second female lead in a low-budget web series went viral, I used that money to register a public relations firm. But early the next morning, I received a message from Carter Shun, the Grand Garden Hotel, room 1202. "Your boyfriend is lost there." Seeing this message, I laughed coldly, then angrily called Carter Shun. "Carter Shun, what nonsense are you spouting? What madness is this now?" Carter Shun, "I'm mad." Arya Shun, "Be reasonable. Why are you always so harsh with me? You're so kind to your younger sister, who only takes your money, so forgiving to your cheating boyfriend. Yet you unleash all your temper on me. Is that it? You know exactly why I treat you this way." I hung up furiously and rushed to the hotel Carter mentioned. To my surprise, he was waiting for me at the entrance. "Knew you'd come. Let's go. I'll take you up." Carter firmly took my hand, rode the elevator to suite 1202, knocked, and called out at the door, "Jasper Yun, open up." Carter Shun's voice even carried a hint of playfulness. "I know you're in there. Open up." After I rejected Carter Shun, it was like he'd flipped some incredible switch, completely shedding his former aloof school heartthrob persona. The door swung open at a push. I stood at the doorway, watching Jasper Yun look half asleep until he met my gaze and jolted awake. Only Jasper remained in the room. Clothes were strewn everywhere. The trash can held evidence of last night's recklessness, and the air was thick with the scent of intimacy. I swayed on my feet as Jasper reached out to steady my waist, then pulled me into an embrace. "Wandy, let me explain." Tears fell from my eyes in heavy drops as I choked out the question to Jasper. "Who was it?" After a long silence, I screamed in Bunkurich. "Who? Tell me." Jasper spoke with difficulty. "Aurora Leong. Aurora Leong, my younger sister. Jasper Yun. We're through." Jasper Yun shot to his feet. "No, Carter Shun. Put your clothes on first." I turned away. "This isn't a discussion. It's a notice. You didn't discuss it with me when you slept with someone else." After a pause, I added, "Be good to my younger sister." I ran out. Carter Shun chased after me. I shook off his hand. "I want to be alone. Don't bother me. You're my younger sister. If I don't watch over you, what if something happens? Don't think I don't know what you're up to. You men are all no good. That's unfair. I'm not Jasper Yun. Serves you right for not choosing me back then. Regret it now. I gave Carter Shin a deep look. No regrets. Carter Shin was thoroughly angered, finally gritting his teeth. Fine, very well. Arya Shin, remember what you said. You'd better never regret it in this lifetime. Finally free of Carter Shin, I took out my phone and called my younger sister. My younger sister and I huddled together in a tiny, run-down rental apartment, shivering without heating, holding each other as we laughed and cried while drinking. Elder sister, I will definitely become a shining star. Yes, you certainly will. Elder sister, what is your dream? I don't have a dream. My goal across both lifetimes has been to earn lots and lots of money, buy a big house, save a fortune, so we can live well, free from bullying and others' judgment. I studied computer science and technology, and with money, I started a public relations firm. Everything about me screams that I'm someone who treasures money like life itself. My younger sister was clearly unhappy. I sighed, thought for a moment, and said, I like painting. Once we have enough money, I'll devote myself to studying art. My younger sister raised her beer and clinked glasses with me to a beautiful future and tomorrow. Cheers. Carter Shin stopped acknowledging me, reverting to his cold and arrogant demeanor. Jasper Yin couldn't accept our breakup and came to school several times, explaining that he'd been acting strangely that day, clearly drugged by someone. He said he'd received a message from a friend that day. My younger sister was being harassed at a drinking party, taken to a hotel, and might be in danger. So he went over, never expecting things would turn out like. I felt it necessary to have a proper talk with Jasper Yun, so I arranged to meet him. In the cafe, I calmly told Jasper Yun, Jasper, I don't want to dwell on the past. Let's part on good terms and not make this ugly, all right? Anger flashed in Jasper Yun's eyes. His patience finally worn thin, as he said coldly, You insist on being like this. Is that it? I've always been this way, haven't I? Jasper Yun scoffed. Arya Shun, there's something I've wanted to say for a long time. You're really dull. Sometimes I wonder, after all these years of you claiming to love me, do you even know what it truly means to love someone? I'm genuinely curious. Would you be like this in bed too? I bit my lip, trembling with anger, and splashed a cup of coffee onto Jasper Yun's face, glaring at him furiously. He took out a wet wipe, leisurely wiping the coffee stains from his face, his expression turning even more malicious. In a way, you really aren't as interesting as your sister. You'd actually pair well with someone like Carter Shen. A cool voice chimed in. Why would I want something you've discarded? I'm not that desperate. Thank you. Carter Shin stood behind, adjusting his gold-rimmed glasses, putting on the facade of a refined elite. He looked at me and smirked. Look at her, in bed. She'd probably just lie there like a dead fish. My eyes reddened as I stared at Carter Shun in disbelief. He leaned in close to my ear and whispered softly, Little sister, don't look at me like that. You hold no appeal for me anymore. These two men, who fell out because of me, were now reconciling over me again. How laughable. Maintaining my usual pride, I suppressed my anger and called them shameless before storming off. In reality, once outside the cafe, I hailed a taxi and headed straight to my sister's new rental. She had dinner waiting for me. Life without Carter Shun and Jasper Yin didn't leave me dispirited. Instead, I thrived even more, filling each day with purpose. Though we attended the same university and occasionally crossed paths, he remained arrogantly aloof while I responded with polite detachment. When acquaintances asked why we'd become so hostile, I explained that Jasper and I had broken up, and since Carter was Jasper's childhood friend, he was keeping his distance out of respect. Neither of us revealed the reason for the breakup, but I knew some people speculated, due to Carter's changed demeanor, that I must have wronged Jasper in some way. But at a top-tier institution like Arden University, everyone had their own goals and pace. Once the gossip faded, it was forgotten. As an overachiever through and through, I aced every certification exam possible during my studies, participated in every club I could, and undoubtedly became one of Arden's most notable figures. Thanks to the connections I'd made, several major companies approached me with paying projects even before graduation. By the first semester of senior year, I'd already secured my dream job offer. I was destined to stay here, while Carter Shun and Jasper Yun were bound to return to Glenwood City to inherit their family businesses. Over the years, I maintained contact with Mr. and Mrs. Shen. After turning 18, I declined their living allowance, though I kept their gifts untouched, unable to refuse their kindness. During holidays, I bought them presents using my scholarship and earnings. Mr. Shin even suggested I intern at the Shun family company after graduation. The goodwill I'd built since high school brought them many advantages too. Everyone who knew me spoke of me in glowing terms. By every measure, their adopted daughter, had become a tremendous source of pride for them. Even after learning about my breakup with Jasper Yun and Carter's subsequent distance, they called to reassure me, no matter what, you'll always be our daughter. Openly criticizing Carter for his immaturity, probably chastised by his parents, Carter texted me, "Come to the library." I walked over to find Carter Shin still wearing that arrogant, cold expression, tattling, quite the move, winning over my parents. I smiled at Carter Shin. "Brother, no matter how much you dislike me, we're the kind of siblings who break up, but still come home for reunion dinners together." For the first time, my eyes were filled with unmistakable defiance. Carter Shin curled a smile. "Younger sister, this look suits you far better than before. Much more interesting. Does brother like it again? Too bad. I only see you as a brother, because I love mom and dad, and I love my brother." Carter Shin gripped my wrist, his eyes dark with intensity. "Don't tell me you've always liked me, and that you were with Jasper Yun only because you thought a sibling bond lasts longer than a lover's." I yanked my hand back forcefully, offering no answer to his accusation, a feeble attempt to conceal the truth. Unconcerned with what Carter Shun might be feeling now, I had achieved my goal and made a graceful exit. Carter Shun began to be surrounded by women, and, with each new girlfriend, he would invite me out for a meal, as if introducing them to family, a ritual of sorts. Carter Shun and I became superficially friendly, like siblings. Meanwhile, younger sister signed with an agency, with both beauty and acting skills. She gained moderate fame and attracted many fans. Recently, it was rumored she would join an S-tier major production crew as the second female lead, a very likable, fan-favorite role. Once this drama aired, her status would rise significantly. It was at this time that scandalous rumors about younger sister emerged. She was exposed as having been a delinquent girl since childhood, bullying classmates, leeching off elder sister, jealous that her biological sister was adopted by a wealthy family. Not only did she constantly ask elder sister for money, but she also stole her sister's boyfriend. Jasper Yun and I were also dragged into the spotlight. Younger sister became my antithesis. Countless praises were heaped upon me, as if building a saint, while in contrast, she was made to seem utterly worthless. Netizens said the two sisters were like the bright moon in the sky and a rat in the gutter. But what drew the most attention were the intimate photos of younger sister and Jasper Yun. Though her face was unclear, the public was outraged, unanimously convinced the woman was Aurora Leong. The photos of Carter Shun and me catching the cheater at the hotel were crystal clear. This was undeniable proof. People who knew me and Jasper kept coming forward with claims that we were once a perfect couple who broke up after this incident. Some even argued Jasper was set up. But regardless, younger sister was branded as the jealous homewrecker who stole her elder sister's man, and everyone turned against her. Amid the online storm, younger sister stepped forward and publicly stated she had never had any relationship with her sister's ex-boyfriend, even posting her itinerary from the day Jasper cheated. That day, she had met with clients alongside her agent until late, drank until she had stomach bleeding, and had medical records and photos to prove it. She'd even posted in 4-drip photo, visible only to her fans that night. She was in the hospital the entire evening, How could she possibly have been with Jasper at a hotel, while my younger sister issued a legal letter to clarify and sue the rumor mongers? I also stepped forward. I admitted that Jasper Yun and I broke up because he cheated, but the other woman wasn't Aurora Leong. In fact, on the morning I caught him cheating, I even got a call from my sister and went to the hospital to pick her up. As for the accusation of leeching off her, my top score status in the college entrance exam earned me hundreds of thousands in rewards. I had scholarships and could earn my own money through part-time jobs, so I didn't need it. Not wanting my sister to struggle, I gave the money to her, but after she started earning from acting, she returned every penny to me. How is that leeching? The clear evidence and sudden reversal shut the anti-fans up and left Jasper Yun stunned. After our breakup, he tried to see my sister several times. When she refused, he spread these rumors, hoping to ruin her career in entertainment so he could swoop in and play the savior. He's always been this despicable and shameless. Ironically, this incident only boosted my sister's popularity. Even regarding the bullying allegations, people came forward to speak up for her. Many girls shared that during their middle school years, they were called names like Bucky Beaver, Kank, Cow, or Fat Pig, enduring all sorts of malice. And it was always younger sister who stepped up, like a righteous heroine, to defend them. The so-called bullying was actually her helping classmates who were being victimized. Even her pitiable background came to light, beaten daily by her adoptive parents, known to all the neighbors. Yet now that she has money, she hasn't abandoned them. What a kind-hearted girl. The ongoing buzz and touching truth propelled younger sister into the spotlight, earning her incredible public appeal. But the most viral trend was our CP, the studious elder sister and the underachieving younger sister. She posted a photo of us toasting in her rented apartment, which became legendary overnight. Fanfiction about us sprouted like bamboo shoots after rain, one batch after another. Only then did Carter Shun and Jasper Yun realize that Aurora Leong and I genuinely had a strong bond, far closer than they ever imagined. They thought it was a one-sided crush, but it turned out to be mutual devotion all along. We graduated successfully, and Carter Shun came to my place, urging me to give up my job in Capital City and return to Glenwood City to join the Shun family's company, even bringing up his parents to persuade me. But I refused. Arya Shun. After I return, I'm going to get engaged to the Hua family's daughter. If you come back to Glenwood City, I won't go through with the engagement. I almost couldn't hold back a laugh, staring at Carter Shun and saying, "Congratulations, brother. I'll send a gift." What do you mean? You think I'm joking? If you keep this up, we won't even be family anymore. If you don't come back, never return to the Shun family. Glenwood City is where you grew up, with over a decade of memories and your family. What's the point of staying alone in Capital City? Carter Shun, wherever my younger sister is, that's my home. Carter Shun snapped his gaze toward me, then sneered. Fine, indeed. You're just an ungrateful person. You've eaten our food, used our resources, taken advantage of everything, and now that you've grown wings, you think you can just cast us aside? Don't even dream of it. Carter Shun was utterly enraged. He pulled me into his arms and forced a kiss upon me. I struggled desperately, resisting with all my might, but he only tightened his grip, pushing me, stumbling onto the bed, powerless to fight back. Just then, the door swung open from the outside. Aurora Leong froze for a moment, then grabbed a wine bottle and hurled it at Carter Shun. I reached out to block it, preventing her from hitting his head. Aurora roughly yanked Carter away and shouted at him to get out. Carter Shun shot us a cold glare, snorted disdainfully, and walked away. The moment he left, I took out my phone and called his mother. I wept inconsolably. "Mom, I'm sorry. From now on, I can no longer be a daughter of the Shun family. I will work hard to earn money and repay every penny you've spent on me over the years. If there's anything you need help with in the future, I'll do my utmost to assist, as long as it's within my power. In my heart, you and Dad will always be the parents I love. Thank you for everything you've done for me all these years." Then, through tears, I told them how Carter Shun had almost forced himself on me, and explained that since high school, my brother seemed to have developed inappropriate feelings for me. That's why I wanted to test into Capital City, only for him to discover my application and follow me there. The resources I gained through the Shin family had brought them immense returns. Many of their connections were made through me. I knew they wouldn't risk a fallout with me, especially since Carter was at fault here. I left no room for blame, and they had no way to touch me. My younger sister said she didn't hold a grudge against the Shin family. She was willing to let it go, but her revenge against Jasper Yun was far from over. My younger sister achieved her dream of becoming a star, and I rose to the top of my industry. My public relations firm, now managed by others, continued to thrive. A year later, on the day Jasper Yun became engaged to a wealthy heiress from Glenwood City, a woman burst into the engagement ceremony with a 2 or 3-year-old boy, crying, "Jasper Yun, you can't marry someone else. This is our son." The woman from that night had been found. She'd taken the souvenir and run. As a former friend, how could I pass up this opportunity? I immediately hired paid online commenters to leak the story, even filmed a video of the engagement scene, and posted this heartwarming family reunion drama online. It quickly trended. Glenwood City's rich second generation? Isn't that the guy who once tried to slander Goddess Aurora? Womanizer. And he even tried to ruin the relationship between Goddess Aurora and elder sister. Thankfully, elder sister dotes on her. The online discussions were buzzing. Aurora Leong subtly posted a tweet about smashing cucumbers, and I commented below, "Focus on your acting. I'll make you pork ribs tonight." Netizens immediately chimed in, "Living the good life." Again, Arya Shun at Aurora Leong. Elder sister, "I want some too. I'm Aurora's wife." While things were lively on our end, Jasper Yun's side was in utter chaos. His fiancée's family was furious, immediately called off the engagement, and the Yun family was deeply disappointed in their son. That night, Carter Shun's call came through. I didn't even need to answer to know who it was. "Arya Shun, are you all teaming up to mess with me?" Jasper Yun roared in utter collapse. "Why?" "No reason. I'm just wicked. Besides, you're the one who did wrong. No one forced you to sleep with someone else, right?" Jasper Yun was so furious on the other end, he seemed ready to spit blood, while a little boy could be heard calling Daddy nearby. My younger sister, back from work, took the phone and laughed heartily. "Let me tell you why. Because my elder sister loves me most. Jasper Yun, Carter Shun, you both wronged and humiliated me in our past lives. So we sisters are here for revenge." The line suddenly went quiet, as if the caller had moved elsewhere, and the person on the phone had changed. Arya Shun. Carter Shun's voice was calm, but a faint tremble could be detected upon closer listening. I hummed in acknowledgement and replied, "Go on, Carter Shun. Have you never liked me at all? Were you just toying with me this whole time? I never said I liked you in the first place. You're the one who misunderstood all along. Big brother?" The breathing on the other end hitched. I put the call on speaker and crooked a finger at Aurora Leong, who leaned in and said sarcastically, "Having those kinds of thoughts about your own younger sister. You're really despicable, Carter Shun." The call was disconnected, and Aurora Leong and I burst into laughter. As we laughed, tears welled up in her eyes. Carter Shun and Jasper Yun had quite a few rivals. After the Yun family's downfall, rumors spread that Carter had always been secretly in love with Jasper. Why else would he follow him to the capital city and cut ties with me after Jasper and I broke up? The gossip sounded so convincing that both their reputations were thoroughly ruined. Their company's performance plummeted, and with Jasper's illegitimate child scandal, no respectable family would let their daughter marry either of them. 5 years after graduation, I resigned from my company, switched to independent media, and started my own studio, writing scripts and producing short dramas. Aurora Leong had become an A-list celebrity, winning 2 major awards, and still found time to make guest appearances in my projects. Aurora Leong's name echoed through every street and alley, her meteoric rise accompanied by a storm of criticism, but we weathered it all together. It was only later that I learned how, due to my younger sister's rebellious spirit, Our adoptive parents had once locked her in a room with a mentally disabled man, attempting to force her submission by drugging her and coercing a marriage. My sister fought desperately and escaped, but the man chased after her, hit his head, and died. That's why they dared not make a scene. Later, I set aside my career to study painting. I accumulated vast wealth and built a highly successful business, now living a carefree and unrestrained life. My younger sister shines even more brilliantly. She works far harder than I ever did, genuinely passionate about her craft and reveling in every moment of it. Everyone thought I was the most career-driven, yet it's my sister who's called the workaholic. While I roam and explore the world, she calls herself a demon crawling from the darkness, finally seeing the light, unaware that she was always the dawn, the first light destined to glow with dazzling brilliance. We are both stepping into a radiant and dazzling new beginning.